coming out of the pandemic, we have, I think, the youth who have been more isolated than any before.
Yeah.
Hyper individualistic, lower levels of resilience,
Absolutely.
lower levels of, and I don't mean to broadly generalize, but the data's there, right? Lower levels of aspiration.
Absolutely.
And so when you say rebranding, my first thought was, man, can you accomplish it? Branding has so many consequences.
My thing is, branding was always Yahweh's idea.
Yeah.
Like, that's what Leviticus is about. The whole book. It's about them being a distinct nation. That's like, and the law was God's branding technique to draw people to himself.
Right.
You know, and so even Jesus goes back. I mean, that's what, when you go to the Sermon on the Mount, right after the Beatitudes, I mean, all of that's branding language. When you get to when Jesus talked about, he said, you're supposed to be the salt of the earth. You're supposed to be a light on a hill. Then he said, you heard it said, but I say to you. And but then he says, branding isn't merely, and this is what Jesus wanted to do. He said the Pharisees are about branding the outside of the cup, but you have to have the true character inside of you so that everything's authentic. Because because God was not about just showing something like it's something.
Right.
He was really about it having a particular character that it was emanating. And so that's why, you know, the gospel rebrands the inside of us. It changes us so that we're really different and we have fruit of the Spirit.
Right.
And so we show that karpos, that fruit off. And that, like, so when I meet a Christian, I should meet patience. I should meet love. I should meet. There's certain things,
right,
that I should meet. If I go to Eddie V's up in King of Prussia, there's a dress code, but there should be a food standard there. In other words, if I want a medium steak, it shouldn't come out well done.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So because there's a particular aesthetic, but there's also. You can have aesthetic all you want but if the food is bad,
right?
So you got Ruth Chris right now. You know, I don't know if you know what's going on with Ruth Chris.
No, I've seen it.
So Ruth Chris is like everybody. It's like a whole thing on TikTok, Instagram with Gen Z. So they basically like Ruth Chris is not fine dining. And so this one guy does a video. A black dude said, "I took my girl out. We couldn't afford to go to Ruth Chris last year. We're going this year." And so, man. He said, I look around and dudes are sagging and dudes, and it goes viral to the point to where Ruth Chris had to respond and basically say, yeah, we're going to have to basically raise our standards on how people look when they come into our restaurant because it was affecting people's experience with the food and with the and I think that is so tangential to the church.